one and all to the Season 2 premiere of What's Good Warrensville. It's a beautiful Memorial Day weekend, and to all of those who have served or are currently serving in our armed forces, thank you so much for your service and your sacrifice. On today's episode, we will celebrate the graduating class of 2021 as they go on a well-deserved farewell tour of the city and commemorating the rich legacy of our past as they transition into a bright new future under the leadership of Superintendent Donald J. Jolly and the tireless efforts of our Board of Education to help make his path possible. And then, on to our featured segment of the week, a candid conversation with Congressional candidate for Cuyahoga County's 11th Congressional District, Shontel Brown. She will give our viewers a very personal look into her journey into public service and the community that embraced her. All that and more coming up on the next What's Good Warrensville Season 2 premiere. Let's go.
Hey, check me out. It's Shontel Brown, and I want you to watch me this Sunday night at 9 o'clock on What's Good Warrensville. You'll get to see a peek into the private life of a public servant. That's, again, Shontel Brown this Sunday, 9 o'clock on What's Good Warrensville.
Today is our senior, we had our senior breakfast, and they're going to say goodbye to all the schools. So they're taking pictures in front of all the schools. It'll culminate with them getting clapped off by our elementary school students. So what we want to do is set an expectation that here, this is where you can end up being. We also want to commemorate the past with them going to each school they went to in their journey.
Don't tease, give me that. Now please bring it back.
Hey, I hope that every graduating class of Warrensville Heights High School embraces our newest alumni class to show them that we are a family of Tigers for life. Coming up next is Congressional candidate Shontel Brown in a segment you don't want to miss. That's coming up next on the next What's Good Warrensville Season 2. Let's go.
Greetings, Warrensville Tigers. Do you know about the official Warrensville Heights High School Alumni Association? Are you included in our database? If not, we invite you to slide on over to our link and add your information. The database is a great way to be connected with your fellow alumni, to learn about events and activities for alumni, and to be engaged with school districts. Be sure to share the link with your classmates too. There may be a few bragging rights competitions in the near future, so be sure to be a part of the fun by adding your information to the database. Warrensville alumni, that's what's good, Warrensville.
Family. Family to me are the people that God places into your life, regardless of bloodline, that helps to support and guide you on your journey, whatever that may be. Strength is vulnerability. Being able to trust God in your most vulnerable and what others might perceive as your weakest moments. To me, that is strength. Compassion is key. Compassion is the fundamental thing in humanity that should bring us together. Just having empathy and appreciation for others, however they have been created. So leadership, I think it's the ability to influence and impact others. It doesn't necessarily have to come with a title. It is what you do to be able to bring people to a better place. And again, regardless of your title, your age, your experience, I want people out there to know you can be a leader, but you have to be willing to follow first in order to be a good leader. I'm all about empowerment. So empowerment is helping other people find their purpose and helping them use it to their greatest potential. So when I first decided where I was going to live, I knew that I wanted to be close to my parents. And they lived in the Lee Harvard area. So the communities were either going to be Shaker or Warrensville or Maple. And I was looking at houses, and my aunt at the time, she had just built a house on Phelps, so one of those new houses, and I'm like, that's where I want to be. It's close to the freeway. I can hop right on the freeway. It's not far from shopping because the mall was still kind of active. And I'm like, I think Warrensville is the place. And actually, before the chateau came into development, I thought that was where I would be. But God just shifted things and expedited me to this place where I live now. And I'm so grateful for it because I had found a home around the corner in Ward 6. And the other place that I thought I was going to live was in Ward 7. But God had a plan, and I landed in Ward 5, not knowing what He would do for me 7 years later after moving here. So I love the community. I mean, the conveniences, again, being so close to my parents, around the corner from one of my aunts, near shopping, easy access to my friends. The place was a ranch, 3 bedrooms, a full finished basement. I was just like, this is it. This is where I need to be. And at the time, too, I also had a bunch of friends. We would meet on Sunday and play spades. Now, I lived, prior to moving by my house, buying my house, I lived in an apartment on Shaker Square, huge apartment, 2-bedroom, and that was really where a lot of relationships that I still have began. And we would come over to my house, and prior to my house, we'd come to my place, my apartment on Sundays, and play spades and watch the football games. And then when I got this house, all I could see was all of my friends just hanging out, you know, just relaxing. Like I said, the basement was bad, you know, full finished basement with a kitchen in it. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna be able to have fun, cook. We don't have to go on my upstairs, and you know, we could just be social. And we had probably anywhere from, I would say, anywhere from at least 20 to sometimes up to 50 people in that basement. But we were always respectful. Coming in, being a young homeowner, I know my neighbors are probably like, what's going on? As a matter of fact, one of my neighbors came over and said, what y'all doing over here? Y'all, you know, it's always a lot of cars, but you're never troublesome. It's never a problem. I just want to know what y'all doing. I said, we ain't doing nothing but playing cards. You're welcome to come, because my heart and my home and my spirit is like, all are welcome. So when I first moved over here, I didn't realize it, but they shared with me that for a while, we weren't allowed to even be on this street. By the time I got here, that was long gone, but we still had a diverse community. As a matter of fact, my immediate neighbor across the street is a Caucasian, so we still have a mixed community here, and that was appealing to me as well. So, but all just solid neighbors, solid homes, a solid community. I'm like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And when I did it, when I purchased my home, I didn't expect or know why God would have me to be here. I just thought it was just about that ability to provide a space for me and my friends to continue our social engagement. And little did I know what else God had in store for me. So I was blessed with these amazing neighbors, right? All seniors and retirees, and they treated me like I was their very own. So there was a kindred connection there. And I don't know if folks remember, but there was an earthquake tragedy that struck in Japan. It was in 2011. And the news cycles, as they still are, were very repetitive. But I'm sitting in my room, and the question dawned on me, where would we go in the event of an emergency? And I thought, maybe up to that school. We live right up the street from John Dewey Elementary School, and not far from the Senior and Civic Center. I thought those might be the place, but let me find out. I'm a trust but verify. So I went to my first city council meeting, and learned a lot at that meeting. Got my question answered, but something said, keep going so you can figure out what is happening in your community. And I did. And while Warrensville was doing good, there were some things that certainly could be improved. And so rather than complain, I am a firm believer in being the change you want to see. And so I had gotten wind that the city's longtime favorite mayor, now Mayor Sellers, but a friend of mine long before politics, was going to run for mayor. So he hadn't been elected yet. And I said to him, well, what do you think if I run for city council? He was like, you'd be great. Or in Brad's language, you'd be great. But he said, but nobody knows you, so you're gonna have to work really, really hard. And I've never been afraid of hard work. So I said, okay, what do I have to do? And he kind of gave me some suggestions and was very supportive. He was like, but you're gonna have to get to know the neighbors. You're gonna have to pound the pavement, hit the streets, and introduce yourself. I'm like, okay, no problem. I have been described as unapologetically fearless. So I'm like, that's right up my alley. I love people. This piece of cake, right? So the challenges of Ward 5. Listen, as many people know, this street, the people on this street embrace me as one of their own. So they're not constituents, they're not citizens. Quite frankly, they have become my family. And so with family, sometimes you don't always agree, right? So it's just a matter of getting things done. How do we find solutions to our problems? So coming in as a young person into a leadership position where, you know, there was a fine gentleman that represented the seat before me. So, you know, it took me a little time to build some of that support and confidence of the neighbors that didn't exactly live on my street, but knew I was qualified, that I would work hard for them. And eventually we got there, I won them over. But those were the greatest challenges. I think, you know, when we're talking about this community. It is truly a rich community filled with so much legacy. I mean, you know, I don't know if anybody out there knows this, but Secretary Fudge's mom lives in this community. So, you know, that's the caliber of folks that I had to serve. And so what it does, iron sharpens iron. So when you have people with high expectation, that just makes you, prepares you, and forces you to deliver even better results. Maybe sometimes thinking outside of the box, doing things that you maybe wouldn't normally think about doing. And because they have the experience, because they have the wisdom, you gotta respect that. You don't have to make all the mistakes yourself, right?
Greetings, Warrensville Tigers. Do you know about the official Warrensville Heights High School Alumni Association? Are you included in our database? If not, we invite you to slide on over to our link and add your information. The database is a great way to be connected with your fellow alumni, to learn about events and activities for alumni, and to be engaged with school districts. Be sure to share the link with your classmates too. There may be a few bragging rights competitions in the near future, so be sure to be a part of the fun by adding your information to the database. Warrensville alumni, that's what's good, Warrensville.
Hello everyone, I'm Mayor Michael Booker from the Village of Highland Hills. Make sure you tune in on Sunday nights at 9 to What's Good Warrensville so you can find out what's going on in our community of Warrensville Heights, North Randall, and Highland Hills, because Highland Hills is a big deal.